Sinner is a threat. Hear the voices cry in the dead of the night. Someone's gonna die in the heat of the fight. In the heat of the fight. Clearly you decided to stand in my way.
Non-stop rock talk with Tyson Bryden. Welcome to Non-Stop Rock Talk. This is your host, Tyson Bryden. Today, I'm very happy to welcome Mick Michaels and Mad T from Philadelphia band Corners of Sanctuary. Welcome, Mick. Welcome, Mad T. How's it going, guys?
All right, man. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Right on. Now, for my listeners that may not be familiar with Corners of Sanctuary, kind of give me a bit of a rundown about the band, when you guys kind of started, the whole deal, I guess.
Sure. We're Corners of Sanctuary. We're considered the new wave of traditional American heavy metal, and we formed in 2011. Some of us were working on a reunion project for a band that we were in the 80s called Seeker. And during that project, we had decided, we had started talking that we wanted to do some music, some projects that reflected more of our roots and some of the music that we weren't hearing and we wanted to hear. So we started, putting together some tunes and stuff like that. And by 2011, early 2011, we formed Corners of Sanctuary.
Cool.
And we've kind of been off and running ever since.
You guys have done a lot of albums since then.
Yeah, again, we're a band. We like to write. If we were winning football championships, I guess we wouldn't be too much of a band. So we like to write music, and you know what I mean. It just works for what we do. We enjoy it, so it's easy to do.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Now, I always like to ask this about artists. Kind of like, can you give me kind of a rundown of what kind of influenced you guys to do music?
Well, for the band overall, it's a collection of a lot of the early roots, like new wave of British heavy metal, the early wave of American metal at the time, late 70s, early 80s. You got Judas Priest and Maiden, Sabotage. There's even Sabbath influence there, Dio, things like that. But then you have Queensryche and early Rat and Dokken and, things of that nature.
Yeah.
That's kind of like where our music has grown from, right? Like where we took inspiration from, because that's what we grew up in.
Yeah.
But it is a throwback type of sound, but it's not dated. There is a modernness to it. And actually, when Mad T joined the band, he brought more of a modern drum style to what we were doing, which actually, in my opinion, opened up our opportunity to be more musical. Right. And by that, I mean leaving more room for the vocals. There was a lot more air, a lot more interpretation to what, the listener could get out of the music.
Right. Now, Mad T, who influenced you to play drums then?
Really, it was Judas Priest for the longest time. Like, it was British Steel and Screaming for Vengeance. And then when I actually finally came around to Defenders of the Faith, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle in there, you had Iron Maiden. Those were like the kind of the two big pushers. But then when I kind of went out, I started to like get to the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, and actually really enjoy that simple driving beat that it's simple and driving, so why not use it, right?
It's inherent to that music, so it just kind of helps us. He has a simplistic style that has a sophistication to it, because he doesn't. We've worked with drummers in the past that try to outdo everything else that's going on. Like sometimes they're competing with the singer and they're trying to demonstrate all that they can do, and that's fantastic and all, but it doesn't necessarily always help the song. Sometimes. Right. More is just, that's what it is. It's just more. So that openness is what I think this band had needed. So when he joined, the ranks, it really changed how we went about putting the music together. So it was for us, it's been pretty cool. So those styles that he brings is definitely a major influence, which helps push us in our arrangement songwriting past just that, traditional wave of metal that we grew up on. So
Well, also the style is based around how we write. I mean, actually, most of the time for rehearsal, we kind of have like a singer come in sparingly because of schedules and stuff. I mean, barring these past year and a half or so.
Yes.
like we've played rehearsals just the three of instrumentally. So bands prior, it would be everyone there. So I mean, you could embellish everything when a singer does one thing or another thing. But here, it's very music driven. And if I'm in my mind, if I felt to do all this stuff and I have no idea where the singer or the singing or the lyrics are going to play, and then I'm going to screw up the entire flow of the song, and that's not what, in my mind, the drummer is supposed to do. Because I mean, I'm not sure if you heard songs where a drum thing is just like, why is that there? It screws up something with the guitar or the lyrics. So it's kind of like, well, since I don't have that leisure of playing with the singer every time that we have rehearsal, it's like, well, then let me just get the chops down of doing the simple backbeat or whatever it is, so that when the singer does come in, it's kind of like a new experience every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you guys, I mean,
honestly, less is more.
yeah, I agree.
And being that we're a single guitar band, less is more. So it's important, the impact that we have with the singularity that we're using. So.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of attribute that to, AC/DC, for instance. I mean, there's not a lot of like crazy drumming in an AC/DC song. It's straight and to the point, but it works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it feels good.
Yeah, without that strong backbeat, what do you have? I mean, you really do get lost. So to me, it's very important. I mean, it's collectively very important, every piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But if you're competing for space, like businesses do, right, on the market, they're all competing for shelf space. Somebody always gets squashed. That's not what's good for the song. Everybody has to have kind of an understanding that the song takes precedence over any one individual or instrument.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Matt T, you mentioned Judas Priest and British Steel. I mean, thinking of a song like "Living After Midnight," it's pretty much just a straight beat as well. But it works, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that was kind of the influence, or just the idea that I guess cemented in my mind. I mean, even some of the Iron Maiden, even as progressive as Nico McBrain can get. I mean, he still has that simple driving backbeat, whether it's in Alexander the Great or Aces High. I mean, it's still it's still something that he pushes through. There's not like competing stuff with his thing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, him and Steve Harris drive the band, and you know what I mean. They drive the song, and that's probably what I think. In some ways, Iron Maiden's a kind of a progressive band, but at times it also comes across as commercial as well because of that style, right?
Right.
So it works. Now, let's talk about your latest EP entitled Blood and Steel Volume 1, which is on RFL Records. This is your second release with the label. The first being a full-length album entitled Heroes Never Die, which came out 2019?
Last year.
This year?
Last year. It came out last year.
Last year. Right. So let's talk about the title. Why Blood and Steel?
Well, this is our 10th anniversary for the band, so we're celebrating that this year. We actually had a lot of things planned in terms of touring and stuff, but that isn't going to happen. So Blood and Steel, it just kind of reflects what we feel we've done and demonstrated in our commitment to this goal of spreading our music, creating it, spreading it. So, the blood, sweat, tears type thing. And the steel is kind of like the guitar strings and
Cool.
the trucks and the equipment that we move around and stand. It's kind of like a play on words. So, and with that, there is a lot of sacrifice that goes along with that blood and steel, right?
Yep.
So, and it could be, we've sacrificed pieces of our lives to be able to do this. So we're commemorating it not only through the title, but we decided to, instead of doing another full release so soon after Heroes Never Die, we decided to break it apart and do it in 3 installments, Volume 1, Volume 2, and a Volume 3 later this fall. That's kind of where we're at, with it. It's just kind of one of those. There's a line in one of the songs on Volume 1 that talks about, it talks about blood and steel. You've made this pact with blood and steel. You've gone into battle with sword and shield in hand, and the pact with your blood, so to speak. Your commitment to the cause, and that's kind of where we're at.
That's cool. So now in 2019, going way back to 2019, because 2019 seems like it's so long ago after the last year.
Sure.
With all the COVID stuff, you toured quite a bit, supporting the likes of Bullet Boys, Grim Reaper, Blaze Bayley, Lost in Line, Janet Gardner, the Iron Maidens. I'm curious about those different audiences. I mean, what audience demographic was the most receptive to the sound that you guys do? Were some gigs some of those bands are a little bit popular, I guess you would say. Was the reception different each time out?
Well, with the benefit about being a band that's been around a bit, or that has a big back catalog, is that we can interchange some of our songs for other songs to fit the bill. Yeah, the bill.
Right.
But like the Janet Gardner, who's who's a little more on the rocky side, we played a few more of our rocky tunes, and when we did Iron Maiden, or the Iron Maidens, I should say, and
Blaze,
Blaze, and even Grim Reaper. I mean, we kind of played our heavier stuff.
Yeah.
So we do have. We are conscious or aware of what the audience is going to be. I mean, we don't want to sacrifice what Cause or Corner Sanctuary is live, but we can still throw in.
Yeah, I mean, it's all us, all that is us, right? And you want to. I think a rule of thumb in this business is you got to play to your crowd, right?
Right. Yep.
So, we're not a super, super heavy band. We're also not a super light band. We kind of, in reality, I guess, according to some standards today, we can fall into hard rock to your classic heavy metal type of scene. We have some stuff that's a little heavier and some stuff that's just about right for, maybe just a tad bit heavier than just regular rock. So when we actually we did 2 shows with Bullet Boys, and the first one, some people were like, "Hey, I don't understand why you guys are doing this. They're so light compared to you guys." And it's like, we don't think of it that way. Hey, we're playing with Bullet Boys. This is smooth up in you. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And those shows went over great. And the Janet Gardner show, from Vixen, that was a phenomenal show. She and her husband were backstage. They watched us. They enjoyed it. Chatted with them, a while after the show. The crowd enjoyed it. I think if you're demonstrating you're having a good time and you're confident about your music, it comes across. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Back when we first started, a lot of venues didn't know actually where to put us because, we have that traditional sound and, melodic death and the growling and the screamo kind of stuff was still kind of popular. So we were being lumped in with a lot of those bands, and they were tougher crowds to win over. It took maybe 3 or 4 songs because we just didn't fit the normal bill at that time.
Yeah.
When we played for Butcher Babies, we had a fantastic reception. And we enjoyed it. That's one of those great shows that, we took it because we thought it would be a good gig overall, but we didn't expect to be received as well as we did. It was kind of a shock to us, but we don't have a fear about that, man. We played with, we opened for Joey Belladonna, right? He does a solo set where he does all rock classics.
Yeah.
I mean, Journey and Rush.
He's a big fan of that stuff, I believe.
And he plays for 3 hours straight, man.
Wow.
Singing and drumming all at the same time. Anyway, we opened up for him, and it was a phenomenal show because there was non-metal people there.
Right.
Not that we have problems with metal people. We love metal people. We're metal people. But it was a completely different crowd than we were used to. It was just a regular rock, hard rock type of crowd. And it went over fantastic. I mean, for us, we loved it. It was a great time. So we don't really have that many reservations in terms of the bands that we play with. Man, we'll open up for Justin Bieber if he wants to take us on tour. We'll make some converts for sure.
You know what? That's so funny. I laughed because I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a Motley Crue clip on YouTube of Nikki Sixx and Vince Neil, and somebody mentions something about Justin Bieber, and Vince Neil says, well, they wouldn't even let him in the arena if he was opening for us. It's pretty funny. Like, and then you just see and Nikki Sixx is giving the thumbs down, and Vince Neil's just shaking his head. It was pretty funny. It's pretty comical, but so when you mentioned Justin Bieber, I thought of that, and it made me laugh. So
that actually reminds me of this was probably 10 years ago with Ozzy doing like a 4G commercial or something like that, and he's all in this whatever in his garb, and he's like 4G this, and it's like somehow they put it's like, okay, Ozzy, you're gonna be with Justin Bieber, and he's like, what the fuck's with Justin Bieber?
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now I understand in 2019 you guys also played at the infamous Whiskey A Go Go. Was that the first time playing there?
That was the first time playing there. We had opened for the Iron Maidens, and that's like one of those shows that was
like, wow.
It was like, wow. Like, the crazy thing is for me, it happened. It was all happening so fast, so much. It's almost like part of it's a blur.
Yeah,
that's how it was so exciting.
Well, here was the thing. We had to get there early, and we wound up being one of the bands that could be up in like. Was it
like a green room? Yeah, we got our own green room and all. We were royalty for a couple hours.
Yeah. So we were literally waiting up there for a couple hours until it's our turn.
Time.
So that's like a couple hours, and then our show time's like, what was it, 30 minutes, 45 minutes,
something like that.
Yeah, that, and then it was like, okay, back up into the
green room,
and then we're all sitting there
at the merch table.
Yeah. So I mean, we're kind of just sitting there like, holy shit! That just like holy shit! It goes by.
But listen, the Iron Maidens are a fantastic band, and they packed the house. They were playing. That's their territory right there. So it was a packed house, 2 floors, and it was pretty awesome. We have a song called "On the Hunt," and it's a real easy chorus, "On the Hunt," and we have a part that we try to get the crowd to sing, and it's later in the set, and again, it was totally taken back that the whole place is singing "On the Hunt," and we were just cool. I mean, it was just amazing, and it was really a cool show.
Did anybody capture any footage of that? Was it on YouTube or anything?
There was some stuff on our Facebook page. We actually had a camera, but somebody knocked it over.
Oh,
and
shit!
It has the sound. But it has video of black and see a little light every so often. So we were we didn't know, it was like shh, and then the camera fell. I mean, somebody was moving around on the side stage there on the right, and it just we were unaware of it at that point. So, but it is what it is. We do have some photos from it, and I mean, what little of my memory I have left, there's something in there.
That's cool. I've never been to LA, and I've never been to the Whiskey. Is it? Like, and I should know this, but how big is it? Like, how many people would you get in the Whiskey?
I think I'm not exactly sure, but I would say
maybe a few hundred.
No, it was more than that. There was, several hundred could be on the second tier there, but on the floor, 1,500, something like that.
Wow.
It's not a gigantic place, but it's a good open sized place.
Yeah.
But it has a nice bar in the back and all that. It's got a good sized stage. So, listen, man, to us, it didn't care how big it was. You know how many people stood on that stage? From Zeppelin,
I know.
Hendrix, Kiss, to just
Van
to Van Halen, just 2 days before we played. Who's there? What's their name, people?
Oh, Sabaton?
No.
No.
God, I can't even remember who they are. That's how.
Oh, Green Day.
Oh yeah, Green Day was here 2 days before we were, so it was pretty cool.
Wow. There was what's his name? What's the singer's name? Billy. His sweat may have still been on the stage.
Yeah, Billy. No.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. No, it was really cool.
No, that's very cool. Now, I want to talk about a few of the tracks on the EP. Calling a New Day. I love the vocal of Frankie Cross. You know what? It kind of reminds me of Exodus, to be honest with you. His vocal. He kind of reminds me of one of the better thrash singers. It's kind of like a cross for me between, and some of the music on that reminds me of Exodus or Metal Church as well, off of like Blessing in Disguise. That's kind of, I don't know if you guys may have never heard that before, but that's kind of what I got out of it, which I thought was really cool because I love those two bands. So.
Well, that is cool. We haven't heard that, but that's cool. I definitely think that this EP is a little darker, a little grittier for us, so it has more of an edge.
Right.
And I think that Frankie's vocal performance adds to that as well. His voice is a bit different on this than it has been on some of our previous projects with him. And, we're changing, he's changing, and we're changing together. I mean, stuff's going to happen. We're not going to kind of repeat the exact same thing. But, it's always a Corners of Sanctuary style. But I think that this is definitely, our bass player, James, likes to call it's more modern, right? I just think it's still us. It's still Corners of Sanctuary, but it just has a little darker tone to it in some of the writing. And then some of that vocal performance, I think, really is what's giving it that extra edge. So that's cool. Thank you.
No problem. So, in terms of writing, when you're writing a song for the band, do you set out in any certain way? Okay, it's like, okay, I'm writing this. This doesn't sound like what I want the band to sound like, or do you keep your options open and you don't limit yourself?
We kind of don't limit ourselves. Mick writes like a song every 3 hours. So,
Good for you, man.
So it's kind of like, oh, okay. We'll kind of have like, I don't know, like 15 songs by the end of the week or the end of the month, whatever. And we just kind of like, okay, well, why don't we try that? Well, the first thing is like, okay, we'll just try and put drums to everything, and then kind of go from there just to see, just to see where things are. And then once the song starts to take shape that way, then it's like, okay, well now we have a better idea of what this sounds like, of what we want to do with it. There's been, I don't want to say lighter songs, but like there's been lighter songs we've cosified or made heavier in a different way that still retains that cause image or cause sound. So we kind of do keep our options open.
Yeah, well, when I write, I usually write in chunks, and by that I mean like maybe 3 or 4 songs are written over the course of a short time, and it keeps to a theme, so to speak. I don't go out and plan to say, look, I'm going to write a song like such and such, such and such. I'm not that smart to do that. I do riffing. I noodle around a little bit. If I hear something in my head while I'm playing, I try then to bring that out. Sometimes it comes close, sometimes not at all. I'll work on riffs that I really like and then present them. We work them, we demo them with T, and I go, no, that's just not working right. Or we change them right up in the spot. He does something, and I go, oh, let's do this instead, or whatever. So we keep our options open, and I think that because we do write often and a lot, to us it's just like honing your craft, just like if you were a painter or paper hanger, or I don't know, whatever you were, and a main carpenter. You want to hone your craft. Some things get thrown to the wayside and go, nah, we can shelf that or rework it or don't use it at all, or it gets broken apart and say, let's take that. But we try to keep our options open. He and I have worked on some other projects as well. We got like a Doom Groove type project, kind of like we're working on right now, which is a little different than Corners of Century, at least from our point of view. We're approaching it slightly differently with other goals in mind. And we've done some lighter stuff, like we just released in February a side project called Starlight, which is kind of a contemporary lounge rock.
Oh, wow.
With the female-fronted vocals. And it's more like, for us, it's like a late 70s, real early 80s kind of like venue rock, like club, like you'd go into the clubs and you'd hear these bands playing, and T's drumming style, he added, like, even though it's not necessarily that particular, not for that style, but he's thrown in a little double bass, but tastefully and accenting. So it really, it's available now on Exquisite Noise Records as a cheap promo here. But,
fine. Promo away.
But check it out. It's way different. It's not metal, but it was fun. It was cool to work on.
That's cool. Has there ever been a time where you brought in a song and it totally changed from what your vision of it was, that it was like it totally went out in left field and maybe you liked it more? Has that ever happened, or does it usually kind of stick to, you guys work around what that is?
No, we've changed. We've
changed some stuff, whether it be the type of drum beat that I'm doing, or the type of picking or strumming or whatever Mick does. It's, our goal is to make sure that the song sounds good or great, or whichever one of the three words you want to pick.
Yeah.
But we're kind of open to.
Yeah, we have songs that have been in the set for quite a few years, and when T joined the band, we changed a lot of them.
Really?
To reflect where we were and what we were doing. Songs change over, like the more you play them, the more they change, right?
Yep.
So songs off the first album aren't played exactly like they were on the album. They're either played faster, there's additional parts, there was some stuff added live. We actually, over the past 5 years, have re-recorded a lot of songs from the first two albums that we did, with new parts, new arrangements, so to speak, even some new lyrics. But
wow.
So nothing really is permanent, and that's the beauty for us of music. It's constantly evolving as we evolve. At least we hope we're evolving.
Yeah.
We wrote a song years ago called Juggernaut. It was on our first album. When that song was first recorded, it was not even the one that made it on the album. It was recorded, we had it, and I was like, I don't like this song. It's too long, and I wrote it, so I was like, it's too long, and whatever, it's for it. So I totally tore it apart, grabbed some essence of this part and that part, and totally rewrote the song, shortened it, and then we recorded it for the first album. And then we wound up re-recording it again for an EP we did in, actually, 2019. We did What We Leave Behind.
Oh, right.
What We Leave Behind. We redid it. We did new vocals to it, new lyrics, a couple new arrangements, and the song just, it's stellar in my opinion. It's just evolved and gotten better. But yeah, we change stuff all the time, man. We're kind of like George Lucas. We're kind of getting in there, always tweaking stuff.
Hence, you're wearing a Star Wars shirt.
Yeah.
I love it. No, I think that's cool. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. If you want to hear some of those, I don't want to say remakes, but like the evolutions of the songs, you can absolutely check them out on the EP or album. Either one, because we probably released a lot of stuff, but it's the release is called Finding Sanctuary. Has a lot of that song evolution that Mick was.
Yeah, that was an album that we did a number of new songs and a number of older songs that were completely redone, retitled, we changed drum beats, we changed some guitar parts, new leads. Where it was just, we just felt like this is what these songs needed, and it reflected a lot of what we were doing live. You again, remember I said you played to the crowd, and you found that hey, these songs will work if we just whatever it is. You know what I mean? And then that becomes the norm. The album doesn't become the norm anymore for us because we've moved past it. So that's what we, and then we said, all right, well, let's put it on an album, make it more of our today norm. Who knows what tomorrow will be, but
I think that's amazing. I do love it when bands do that. You hear a song on a first album and then they'll go back like 4 albums later and they'll re-record it and you're like, oh man, I like this better. But some people don't like that. They get really, like if someone, it's kind of a fine line. If someone takes a hit song and the band redoes it, sometimes people don't get it, right? They don't understand. But for the artist, it's exciting to them to be able to go and do that, right?
Sure.
So that makes total sense.
Yeah, and it's you're working on growth. You're changing. Things are changing as you're changing. Your thinking changes. Everything's not always perfect. That's the problem. We can never really get to that perfect state, but we strive for it.
Right.
So, you do your best, and there's always things that you go, well, you have to let this go at this time and let go at that time. But then later on, when you may have more of a luxury with time or just you have more say in what you're doing, you get that opportunity. So,
oh, that's cool. Now, in the heat of a fight, that's a cool title, by the way. What was your thinking on this one? Like lyrically, what is it? Is it a metaphor or is it actual in the heat of a fight?
We write a lot of metaphor type stuff, right? We use battles and war and physical confrontation, so to speak, to kind of use as example or reference to, overcoming challenges and finding personal empowerment. I mean, listen, it could be that person you're fighting could be yourself, right? We all go through that. So we use a lot of that because it seems more interesting, doesn't it? It really pulls it in. And if you're looking for an aggressive sound and an aggressive lyric to go with it, I mean, we're not telling people to go out and beat people up, but you're talking about, like we have a song called Wrecking Ball, which is kind of like you're talking, one guy's talking to another guy as he's pummeling him, right? You're gonna kick a left and a right and so on and so forth.
Ball of pain.
You're a wrecking ball of pain. But really, what we're trying to say is that, if we confront the things that are opposing us or becoming obstacles for us to reach our goal. And listen, musicians are faced with that all the time. I mean, look at 2020 and as we move on, right? So it's that kind of thing. But, it could be, our goal is to let the listener kind of interpret it almost their own way. Everybody's going to have that personal connection to the lyrics or to the music and then make their own assumptions based on their own experiences. So
I think that's cool. You kind of have to use your imagination to go around what the lyric is saying.
Listen, music is like reading a book. It is. I mean, we're so used to now. I'm still not because I'm of an older generation, but people are so used to seeing it on the screen immediately. Like if it doesn't show up in 6 seconds, we click on something else.
Yeah, I know.
That kind of thing. That this requires still some imagination, some mental construct, some spirituality, just like reading a book, right?
Yeah.
You put the book down and everything's frozen in time until you go back there and you pick up right where you left off. And music should be kind of like that. It's a magic carpet ride, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there's so many songs dating back to the 80s where, there's certain songs that you'd listen to and you go, okay, I know exactly what he's saying here. But then there's other songs where you would use your imagination. It depended on what the band was. Like for Iron Maiden, for example, or, like early Queensryche, stuff like that, where it was kind of, I guess Queensryche was kind of like considered the thinking man's band kind of thing at that time, right? So, which was cool. And Sabotage as well. You guys mentioned Sabotage earlier, and I think they're kind of in that category as well. I love that band as well. So that's cool. And then
I actually sorry, but to go off that point, like, I've been listening to Judas Priest for I don't know how long. I'm going to tell you the truth. There's some things that like I have no idea what this is about because they're either too vague or I don't know. It's like I like Rob. I have no idea what you're singing about. It sounds great though, but I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
well, I think that's artist prerogative in a sense. If we spell everything out, I think it doesn't leave anything up to the imagination, right? And sometimes, given his history, there was things he was probably hinting at, but didn't necessarily want to come out and say, which is okay, he did, he had his sci-fi horror stuff that he would throw in there, and he would use these real big words. So as a kid, you're like, what does that word mean? I don't know.
That's so true.
It sounds good though. He adds a high school at the end. It's perfect. You know what I mean? So it works. Check mark.
Well, you're kind of like, how the hell did he do that? How did he put that in there?
Yeah. So it's just the way they can entangle. Like I've had past band members. They call me Dr. Seuss because of the wordplay that sometimes it makes it very difficult for them to sing at times. So we have to then kind of massage it so they can get it out. But
yeah.
It's funny. It's good. It's good.
I like that though. And I was going to ask about "We Shall All Fall" because that was the one that kind of reminded me of Metal Church. It's kind of evil sounding to me. But again, we kind of touched on that, the fact that it's up for interpretation, because I was going to say, is that in a political sense? Is it about death in the end? But
it's all of that, and for us, besides celebrating our 10-year anniversary, the Blood and Steel editions are we're paying tribute to some bandmates of ours over the years that had passed away in the past 12 months or so. And that's kind of where, that song was written during the pandemic, right? The initial restrictions and all that kind of stuff. And I think it reflects what a lot of us were feeling and going through, and then losing people that you couldn't, in a sense, almost properly grieve. Yeah. There was no funeral, and it was kind of, it's almost tucked under the rug. And it was a shame because there was all this upheaval going on, and people were still, passing away or having issue on other avenues. And so that's kind of where you're absolutely right. It's where we all, sooner or later, we all fall, no matter how big we are, how successful we make it, or, we all have to come to terms at some point. So why not, kind of embrace what's happening for everybody and make it more of an uplifting experience for everyone rather than a push down type of thing. So, because we all end up in the same spot, though we don't want to talk about it.
That's so true. Exactly. I think some people forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
we're only here a short time, man. It really, sometimes it baffles me thinking about it. Like when you're writing a song, like, man, considering the age of the world and everything that goes on, we're just kind of, 100 years from now, no one who's going to remember.
Well, the legacy is the music, right? Someone puts it on. Hopefully 100 years from now, someone's going to put it on and go, oh man, this is cool. Right on. Let's,
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Now the last track, A Fitting End, kind of says it all.
Yeah. Well, again, that the narration on that was done by one of our former bandmates who had passed away, and it was done for another project, and it just sat on the shelf. It was never complete, and I had to talk to some prior band members, like from another band. I said, "Listen, would you mind if we use that and pay tribute to Dave?" It would be I think it would be, we'd be honored to have it on the release, and I think it'd just be a great way to do that. And it worked. It was just a narration, something that I had written years ago, and like I said, it just kind of sat on the shelf. It was almost kind of fell into like nobody remembered it. That's how long ago it was done. So wow. We had it remixed and cleaned up, and then added to the music that we created, and I think it works great.
Yeah, it turned out good. Sounds good. Yeah. I like the whole EP. It was really, really, really well done. It's really good. So now I have to go, and I hate to say this, now I have to go back and listen to your prior catalog and dig through it. And after our conversation, because I'm intrigued now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. Now, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show today. But before I let you go, we did promote a little bit, but I mean, now's the time to promote a little bit more. Where can you be found in terms of streaming, physical copies, band info, all that important stuff?
You can go to cornersofsanctuary.com. From there, you can get to all our other social links. You can sign up for our newsletter, the Cos Nation. You can check out our full catalog. There's even some free downloads on there.
Cool.
You can see some online merch. We also have exclusive merch that we either advertise strictly on Facebook, or it's available at our shows, which aren't happening right now. But they're there if you're ready for it. But yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Are we on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram. Whatever. All those things that the people like punching into and stuff. But keep us there. You can find us on Spotify and Amazon. You can go to rflrecords.com. You can order our stuff there. You can find us on YouTube. We got videos out, both lyric and production videos. We got videos that we shot while we were in the UK. We got videos what we shot while we were in Germany. So it's pretty cool. There's even some live footage, I think, of us when we were in Belgium. Couple videos leaked out there. So it's cool stuff,
Cool. Now, the back catalog, the stuff that isn't on RFL, is it easy to find?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, actually, you can still find several of our. I think the only 3 albums you can't find our first 3 albums. They're discontinued at this point, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But from Metal Machine on, from 2015 on, you can find them pretty much anywhere. Amazon, iTunes. Most of our EPs from that point are holiday EPs. If you're into holiday metal music, original holiday metal music, we have plenty of that. Yeah. So actually, if you just do a search, Corners of Sanctuary, you'll find a ton of stuff. A lot of it you'll probably get for free. It just won't sound very good.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, guys, thank you very much. And I hope you have a great Easter weekend. It's Easter, so we're yeah. So yeah. I'm off work. I have a full-time job, so I'm off for the next 4 days, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having us on. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for joining me, and I will let you know when this posts, so that you can. I'll send it via email to you, and you can do if you want to share it or whatever on Facebook or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll share it.
Okay.
Not a problem. Definitely go. We'll definitely put it out there.
Okay.
We appreciate
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Rock on. See you there.
All right,
See you
bye.
later. Bye.